Hello YouTube, hi, my name is Mark. This is Nixon Motorsports. This channel is all about motorsports, from racing to exotic cars and even simulators. Today's video is a fun day. It's exotic cars. It's a ride around town in our Ferrari 458. So I thought you would enjoy this. Let's go ahead and get with it, all right? Come on. So if I do a little walk around here, this is our 2013 Ferrari 458. This is a Spider. This is not the coupe, so this is a hardtop convertible. And I'm not going to do a review like everybody else does with Ferraris or exotic cars. That happens all the time. I'm simply going to take you on a little drive so you can experience this, and I'll talk to you about differences as I see it when I actually drive this and compare it to, for an example, my Formula 1000 race car. So as some of you who follow my channel, you know I race cars for fun. I've been doing that for over 20 years. So I thought I would just talk to you a little bit about the comparable differences between this and some of the sensation or feelings that I get when I drive my Formula 1000 race car. And so just doing a quick walk around here so you can see what the car looks like. It's a beauty. We don't take this on the track. This is simply a goof-off street car. We take it out for dinner, we do our coffee runs, do all that kind of fun stuff, and that's it. So that is the Ferrari 458 2013 Spider Edition. So let's go ahead and hop in. I'll show you some of the interior and talk about the car when we're going down the road, okay? I'll tell you this, I'm not an expert with Ferraris. I love them like probably most of you, if not all of you do. The 458 was produced from 2009 to 2015. Before the 458, there was the Ferrari 430. And after the 458 is the Ferrari 488. And even after that, because now there's always is something new, the Ferrari F8 is the latest version of these type of supercars. Now, if you don't know that, the 458 is the last of the non-turbo era. So this is a normally aspirated engine, no turbos on this engine at all. The best that I can find, there was about 15,000 458s produced. The Italia itself, the Spider, with what I've seen online, about 6,000 cars produced, and the 458 Spider was built 2011 to 2015. The Spider itself has 562 horsepower, where the 458 Speciale is 597 horsepower. Okay, this is as I said, a normally aspirated motor. This is a 4.5 liter engine, and it's actually in the same Ferrari Maserati family, the F136 V8 family is what I've been told. This is a paddle shift transmission, so it is a double clutch modern transmission that's in the car. And in 2015, the 458s were officially discontinued, as I think I mentioned earlier. So the 488 was the latest version of this type of supercar. This car specifically, curb weight's about 3,274 pounds. 0 to 60 acceleration's about 3.4 seconds. Top speed is about 210 miles an hour. Now the Spider is a little slower. It's right at 200 or 199 miles an hour, and that's due to weight. There's additional weight on the hardtop convertible, the Spider, okay? Again, I'm not going to do a review. I'm not going to do a review of this. So many people have done that with Ferraris. Just to point out a few little things, look at these badass rotors. So these are carbon brakes on the car, which is fantastic. Currently I have P0 Pirelli tires on it. Here you can see the carbon rotors here in the rear as well, which is fantastic. Now, if you haven't seen this, I'm not going to take the top off today. It works extremely easy in the car. This section here actually comes up and it folds into the rear of the car here. It looks fantastic, so it's a hardtop convertible. It's so sticky and hot out here. The humidity is quite high. Not going to do that today, okay? Okay, so I'm in the car. I thought I would show you around here a little bit. First, fire this thing up so you can hear a cold start and do a little walk around for the exhaust noise. Again, stock exhaust on this thing. But anyway, I thought you would enjoy that. So let me just pan down here. Go ahead and turn on the key so you can see and hear obviously everything beeping, right? It's saying start me. But anyway, here's inside the car. So let's go ahead and start this thing up. Pretty simple to do. See this little start button? Here we go. Okay, there we go. So fired this thing up. Hasn't ran for a while. We'll just let it sit here for a second. Check oil pressures, all that stuff looks great. So let's go outside and see what this thing sounds like. All right, so we're gonna sit here and let this thing warm up just for a minute. Haven't had the car out, been a little while. Again, we'll go out, we'll just putt around and you can hear what this thing sounds like, and I'll talk to you along the way, and some of the feelings and what I experienced between the car and its handling, brakes, acceleration, and so on. That's that beeping noise, just saying, okay, it's in reverse. Very exciting. Let's lower this front end down. Awesome. So, I think I mentioned I have not had any of our exotic cars on the racetrack. I've taken, obviously, exotic cars on the track, just none of mine. So we've actually, both my wife and I, we've driven the McLaren, the 720, actually a 458, Lamborghinis and that type of thing on the racetrack, but we've never taken our own. So there you can hear that exhaust kick in. It's not bad. It's just a normal thing with these, at least this model of the Ferrari, where you have a nice quiet exhaust. When you're idling, for the most part. When you give it just a little bit of throttle, maybe, 5% thereabouts. It opens up and it goes from quiet to kind of interesting. Like here, you can probably hear it. Hear that, just that little bit. Not a big deal, but that's why I'm putting that exhaust valve, in the car, so I can control the exhaust noise. If I want it full on loud, I'd rather just have it loud and not that up and down thing. So talking about the feel of this particular Ferrari, it is extremely tight and responsive, I think. I mean, the steering and the driver input on the steering is very good. You know, the car obviously sits quite low to the ground, so the center of gravity is very, very low. So the balance feels good. You know, as I said, I've never taken this car on the track, but I've taken a Ferrari 458 on the racetrack before, and I would say overall the balance is quite good. Yeah, as far as the brakes on these things, I think the carbon brakes that are on these 458s, and it's probably the same brakes on the newer models as well. Fantastic, instant response. You know, many will say with carbon brakes you need to get them up to temp for maximum performance, which is true, but for a street car, for the minimal amount of braking that you need on the street, it's absolutely no issue at all. And back again to the racetrack experience with the 458, I was getting on the brakes hard very quickly, and I did not notice an issue with braking performance, you know, on the racetrack. In fact, the brakes, I would say, in these things are spectacular, fantastic. Now with 560, 570 horse, thereabouts, the horsepower to weight ratio in these things is quite good. Acceleration, 0 to 60, I forgot the exact numbers, I think it's 3.5, I think thereabouts, which is quite good. So overall performance is great. Driver input on the vehicle, you know, like I was talking about, the steering input is tight and precise. Braking performance is fantastic, and so on. Now, you've heard a lot of that stuff from others before in reviews of these cars on the track, right? So comparing this to my Formula 1000, my current open wheel race car that I race, my horsepower to weight ratio in the Formula 1000 is actually stronger than this particular car. It's around, I forgot the exact numbers, I think it's around, 4 to 1. I'll look that up and I'll get back to you here in a minute. I know if I talk about braking performance, cornering, you know, lateral G's, that type of thing, let's talk about cornering. So while these things actually corner, I would say, well, they're not quite in the same league as my current race car. So my Formula 1000, I corner at about 3 G's, maybe a little over 3 G's in corners. And this thing, I haven't had it on the track with data acquisition to tell you what that exact number would be. I'm guessing these things are around, and anyone that knows the absolute, you know, correct me. I'm thinking it's around 1.4, maybe 1.6, kind of in that range. And I'm talking about lateral G's again. Okay. On the braking side, and it's going to be relatively similar. You know, the tires on these are relatively good size, but you know, you have a lot more weight here. My Formula 1000 only weighs 1,000 pounds with the driver, whereas this car is, I think it's 3,500 pounds thereabouts. I will achieve in my open wheel race car about 3 G's in braking. Now that's not sustained, right? As you have downforce, your initial bite and your initial braking performance will spike, and then it will slowly come down as your speed falls off and your downforce starts to fall off. But I achieve at least 3 Gs on a pretty consistent basis in the Formula 1000. I would think the braking performance in this car is similar to the lateral Gs. Again, correct me if anybody has the exact number. I'm going to just take a stab at it. I'm guessing it's around 1.5, 1.8 Gs in that range as a possibility. And I might be way off, but that's just a guess that I have. Yeah, there's so many police in this area. You know, it's not wise to be sticking your foot in it very frequently. Definitely get their attention. Yeah, if I can find a little spot over here, I'll try to give it a good little acceleration thing. I'll hop on the freeway for a second. That might do it. So at least I can wrap this thing up just a touch so you can hear that. Let's see if this thing sounds like getting on the freeway. That sounds a little better. Give you an idea what it sounds like when it wraps up. It's kind of hard to get clean track or clean road around here with no cops. I'll just do a quick little acceleration here as I get on the freeway, okay? So let's try that. Here we go. So that gives you an idea what it sounds like. Pretty cool, huh? So, I hope you enjoyed that. You know, look, I didn't get on it hard. I'm putting around on the street, that type of thing, right? But, you know, this was just a little fun, get out, stretch the legs on the 458 for a few minutes. And there'll be a lot of other videos. And by the way, if you have ideas, thoughts, what you would like to see, let me know. I don't spend a lot of time videoing on this channel for exotics. I mean, we have a few. We have Porsches, we have Jaguar, we have Ferrari. Anyway, if you have ideas on video and such, let me know. There's a lot of upcoming videos related to the racing activity that we're doing. So you'll see quite a few things coming along that end of it. I just have to wrap up with saying, hey, you know, thank you very much for supporting this channel. I do appreciate the comments, and I try to respond as quick as I can. But thank you very much. You know, keep watching, tell your friends. That's it. You have a great day. Ciao. Bye.